Hi, and welcome to Stamp with Ginny. Today I'm going to share with you how I made this lovely Home to Roost card using our celebration stamp set. So let me set this aside and we'll get started. Okay, I'm going to take my crushed curry cardstock piece here and I am going to ink up my Just a Note stamp, and I am going to stamp this with the tuxedo black in the lower right hand corner. And then I'm going to run it through the Big Shot using the Subtles embossing folder to give it a little bit of texture. Okay, now that I've got my piece run through the embossing folder, I can adhere it to my card front. And so I'm going to add some adhesive to the back here and adhere it. And I'm ready to move on to the next step. So I'm going to add this piece of Cajun Craze cardstock, and I'm going to add some adhesive to the back and then add it to the left hand side, and I'm leaving about 1/4 of an inch of that crushed curry embossing folder piece showing. And then I'm going to bring in my designer series paper, and this happens to be the Regal stack. And this is the crushed curry piece that I'm using. I'm using the stripe. This stack is wonderful because it comes with multiple patterns in each of the family's colors. So it gives you a monochromatic effect here. And I've used the scallop circle for this layer, and I've attached it to my card front. And now I'm ready to do this focal point, this beautiful rooster. So let me show you how I stamped and colored that. Okay, I'm using a piece of Whisper White cardstock, and once again my Memento Tuxedo Black ink. I need to use that because I am going to be coloring this with my blends. I've stamped it onto my Whisper White paper, and I'm ready to color. So I'm going to pull in my colors. I'm using the Shaded Spruce, and part of what I love about this particular stamp is it's a sketched image, so I can do this quickly, and it doesn't take a lot. I'm using the light shaded spruce first, and then I'm adding some dark feathers just randomly with the dark shaded spruce, and I'm ready to move on to the rooster's body. So I like to start with my dark color for this, and I'm going to add my defining outline here, and you can use your fine tip or your dark, whichever you prefer, and you can add a little bit of shading there. And then I'm going to bring in my light, and I am using circular motions to blend that. There you go. And the next color I'm going to be using is the soft suede. Once again, I am going to start with my dark, and I'm just laying in color. And as you can see, I'm not being real careful. I'm trying to stay within the lines, but because this is a sketched image, it's a little more free-flowing, and I'm not worried so much about perfection on this. And of course, you can always take your color lifter for where I oopsed on that and push that color back in. This is a wonderful blend, and if you don't have one, you'll want the color lifter. Let it dry, and then if you need to, add some more. So I've done the body now, and I'm moving on to his wattle, I believe it's called, and his comb, and I'm going to add the light here and come back with the dark. And since I grabbed the light first, I can come back with the light again once I've got that done and blend if I feel I need to. And then I'm going to use the dark mango for his feet here, just to add a little bit of color. They're kind of sketchy, so they're not real solid for you. And then I'm using the ivory for a quick swash of color for the ground that he's standing on. And I'm ready to cut this out with my coordinating layering circles die. So let me show you what that looks like. Okay, I've got my circle here now cut out, and I've added some dimensionals to the back, and I'm removing that protective cover that they have, and I'm ready to add it to my card front right here in the center of that layering oval. And then the last piece I have is the inside. And for the inside, I'm taking my Whisper White cardstock and the grass piece that comes in the set. This item is so fantastic to use on its own or complementing the rooster. I've stamped it in the crushed curry. on my Whisper White cardstock, and I am going to add some adhesive to the back and add it to the inside of my card. There we go, and then I can close my card here. Let me show you the original again. These celebration stamp sets are absolutely wonderful. When you purchase some of the coordinating products that I've used today, you can earn this stamp set free. If you'd like any of these products stamped by my online store, you can get there from my blog, Stamp with Jini. Thanks for joining me.